They were together only because of an agreement. Nothing more, nothing less. Lena reminded herself of that simple truth as she signed her name at the bottom of the contract. The pen felt heavier than it should have, but her hand didn't shake. She couldn't afford hesitation, not now. 6 months. Public relationship. No emotional obligations. In return, Ethan Blackwell would help her clear her father's crushing debt and secure her a stable position in his company. It was a transaction, carefully written in black ink, witnessed by lawyers who looked bored by how ordinary deals like this were in their world. Ethan sat across from her, tall, calm, and unreadable. He was known in the business world as ruthless, brilliant, and untouchable. Right now, he looked like a man discussing quarterly profits, not someone negotiating a fake relationship. "We'll need to be convincing," he said evenly. "Appearances, events, occasional interviews." "I understand," Lena replied. She did understand. At least, she thought she did. What she didn't understand was how fast her life would change once she stepped into his. Ethan's penthouse overlooked the city like it owned it. Glass walls, muted colors, and silence that felt expensive. Lena moved in with a single suitcase, suddenly aware of how little she actually had. "The guest room is yours," Ethan said. "Privacy will be respected." That relieved her more than she expected. They settled into an awkward routine, shared breakfasts, coordinated schedules, polite conversations that never went too deep. Ethan was respectful, distant, almost cold at times. It made everything easier, or so Lena believed. Their first public appearance came 2 weeks later at a high-profile charity gala. Lena stood in front of a mirror while a stylist adjusted her dress, her reflection staring back like a stranger. She looked confident, elegant, like someone who belonged beside Ethan Blackwell. "You're ready," Ethan said when she joined him. He offered his arm. She hesitated only a second before taking it. The moment they stepped into the ballroom, cameras exploded with flashes. Ethan's hand rested lightly on her waist. Firm, controlled, protective. The gesture was practiced, but the warmth of his touch sent an unexpected jolt through her. "Relax," he murmured. "Just smile." She did, and the world believed them. That night, people looked at her differently. With curiosity, with envy, some with clear judgment. Lena laughed at the right moments, answered rehearsed questions, and played her role perfectly. But something inside her shifted when she noticed how easily Ethan moved in this world, and how naturally she fit beside him. The crack appeared days later. They were attending a private dinner with investors when a woman arrived late, her presence immediately commanding attention. Tall, confident, dressed in red like she knew exactly how powerful she was. "Ethan," the woman said warmly, kissing his cheek. "It's been too long." "This is Clara," Ethan said to Lena. "An old friend." "Old friend." Clara's eyes swept over Lena with interest. "So you're the one," she said with a knowing smile. "I've heard about you." Lena forced a polite laugh. "Only good things, I hope." Ethan didn't deny it. Throughout dinner, Clara leaned close to Ethan, reminiscing, laughing softly. She touched his arm when she spoke, and he didn't pull away. He looked comfortable, and that was when Lena felt it. Jealousy, sharp, uninvited, completely irrational. She had no claim on him. No right to care. This was business, an act. Ethan could have 100 women like Clara in his life, before and after the agreement. So why did her chest tighten every time Clara smiled at him? Lena barely spoke for the rest of the evening. Back at the penthouse, the silence was thick. "You were quiet tonight," Ethan said. "I'm fine," Lena replied quickly. He studied her, his dark eyes unreadable. "If this arrangement becomes difficult." "It won't," she interrupted. "I knew what I was agreeing to." Ethan nodded. "Good. Emotional distance is important." Emotional distance. Lena retreated to her room, closing the door behind her. She sat on the edge of the bed, heart racing for reasons she refused to name. She hadn't prepared for this part. For the jealousy. For the unsettling realization that pretending could stir real feelings.